Hello, everyone. I am CCP Swift here. We've got an amazing dev chat ready for you. We've got CCP Okami and CCP Kestrel here to talk about the update that went out on the 17th. It's not like the biggest update in the world, but it is a very cool update, and it's going to have some pretty serious impacts across the game. But you don't want to hear from me about it. We've got the coolest people here. Game Director CCP Okami. How you doing, first of all?
Doing great. It's summer. Have lots of time to think. Designing the next expansion. Everything's awesome.
Hell yeah. CCP Kestrel, how you doing?
I'm doing well.
Nice. It is really nice to have you here on our in our little podcast studio. We're in a little capsule, very happily just flying away through space. But so this update, players can see in the patch notes, a couple of things have changed. A lot of stuff that's kind of like exploration focused, some industry bottleneck focused stuff. Let's just start with, I guess, what's changing for the exploration content, like ghost sites.
Yeah. I think that there's three sort of interrelated things. The industry changes and the exploration changes are kind of going together. Really, the big one is that we want to add a little bit more value into exploration itself. So we're thinking about our wormholers and our explorers and looking for more ways to make sites a little bit easier to complete, some of them that are too challenging that we felt like, and also just introducing better rewards and more different kinds of rewards to different types of sites. So maybe you can help me get into that in a little more details, but that's related to the industry stuff. I don't know if you want me to, should we go into that a little high level too?
Yeah, let's just do a high level recap of what's going on.
Sure.
How is this going to affect industry just in general?
Yeah, so at a high level, a capital ship manufacturing has a bottleneck that we're all pretty aware of, and that bottleneck tends to come from exploration. So we're looking at sort of hitting this from two directions here, making exploration a little bit more streamlined and valuable by introducing these bottleneck components and just kind of turning them up a bit so they're a little easier to acquire, and therefore hopefully impacting capital ship manufacturing and bringing prices down a little more.
Right on. Yeah, we've seen in the last couple of weeks just a lot of dreadnoughts specifically dying, and just a lot of cap escalations happening.
Absolutely.
So it's always interesting to see how the market reacts when suddenly there's 1,000 dreads that we have to replace.
Yes, yeah, for sure. And we want to make sure that we can feed that need, right?
Yeah, that's nice. So is feeding the destruction machine is always really cool because explosions are the best. But we can't have explosions without the industrialists, without the explorers finding these things. Right. So I'll throw it to you, CCP Kestrel. What sites are changing, and kind of like how are they changing?
So the main focus on the sites that are changing are the ghost sites. So if you're not aware of them, they're called Garusta's Improved Covert Facility or something like that. You warp to them, and when you land in the site, there's a hidden timer that starts, and then you have around a few minutes to hack the cans. If you fail any of the cans, then they blow up, and they'll probably destroy your ship.
Yep, I've definitely experienced that. Yeah.
Yeah, so one of the changes that's being made is we're kind of squishing the minimum and the maximum timers together a bit more on the minimum side of things. So now on average, you should have more time to complete them. They will still be random, but it's going to be a bit more consistent.
Okay, that's really cool. And if anyone's watched our Live to Feed episodes the last couple of weeks, we've been doing some exploration sites in Pakven, and CCP Zealous and CCP we were in charge of our data and hacking. And let's just say if they were touching the ghost sites, we'd all be dead every single time.
Yeah, for sure.
So that is really cool. And I guess, so when you're out exploring as an explorer and you run across these sites, what were we seeing? Were just people just not running them, or just if they weren't next to a good enough ship, they would have to just kind of skip them and try and come back later? Is that kind of what was happening?
Yeah, I think there were a lot of sites that were either too complex or too dangerous. People would skip certain sites or not want to participate in them. Some cases find them not valuable enough. And so this is just trying to balance all those things to say try them. It's fun and engaging and worth it. And the danger to value is better.
Nice. And I think there's also something in the patch notes about kind of jackpot sites. And just what is that like? What's changing there? What's gonna make some sites a little bit more valuable?
Yeah, so the components we're talking about for capital ship manufacturing, we are spreading out a little bit more broadly in these sites. For me, this actually came from a conversation I was having with one of our designers working on this. And I remember when I actually just got back into Eve, I was doing a ton of exploration, and I think one of the like solo exploration, one of the good things is like you do get these moments where you'll go out there and you'll spend a couple hours and you'll get just a great haul, right? And then other times you're just like it was nothing. But every once in a while, I wished that I just felt like I got lucky more.
Yeah.
Like I'd get a good haul, but I'd never get like, oh my god, like holy crap, like I didn't expect to get that, right? Get rich. So we're looking at trying to create more of those types of moments in some of the changes we're making.
Nice. And those always make for the best lost mails as well.
Yeah,
Because like
exactly.
you just got like a billionaire's call or something, and you're trying to come back
You're
home
like
to save all your stuff.
Hands are shaking. You're
Yeah.
like, do I go through the wormhole? Like, yeah.
Just sweating bullets
Yeah.
everywhere, hoping there's not a saber somewhere
Yeah.
going for you, or like a heron that's always bait. Herons are always bait.
Always.
But one of the other things I saw was also kind of reducing the mass of some of the items in there. Did I get that right, CP Kestrel?
Yeah, two of the super capital bottleneck components are lowering in volume, so it'll be easier for you to carry them in your exploration ship. I think some of the feedback we got was like, I think one of the items was like 20 meters cubed, and when you have like only 180 meters cubed like space in your cheetah, not including everything else that you have, like it's actually quite a lot.
Yeah.
And then you have to like give up other loot that you've already got. So bringing it down a bit will make it a bit easier to like keep that in your cargo container.
Nice. And you can stay out a little bit longer too, I guess, and just kind of go hunting for the next one, just hoping you don't die in the process.
Yeah, I might have to get back out there. It's been a little while for me.
Yeah. And this is also like exploration has seen quite a few like little perks. Just with Legion, there was a Solve upgrade that added kind of new exploration sites
Yeah, that's right.
through space. I know those have been like really, really popular. Always enjoy watching some of our streamers running it. Erst, in particular, has been trying to get an escalation from them, and he's pretty sure that somehow in there we've rigged it against him.
We did, like, just to be fair, we said if Erst,
Yeah,
no
just that one
escalation.
line
Yeah,
of code.
yeah.
We can consider commenting that
Confirmed.
out later. Yeah. Right on. Okay. So CCP Kestrel, throwing it to you, like now that we're gonna have more of these components in space that explorers can kind of grab and bring home and even carry some more of, what is that going to address, and kind of like why are we looking to address it?
Yeah, as CCP Okami mentioned earlier, it should mean that more of these items are making it to the market. And that should mean there's a bigger supply, and it's going to relieve that bottleneck a little bit.
Okay, so that's for there are so many components
Yes.
that go into building capitals and super capitals. Back in my day, it was only tritanium, just the normal stuff. But of course, that's not balanced. Like we added some new levers in there to precisely control this.
I think we just call them those bottleneck guys.
Yeah,
in
just
design now.
Bottleneck
You know
guys.
what I'm talking about? The bottleneck guys. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they've got like a Neuralink protection cell, cool thing.
You got.
Yeah, it goes in there. But essentially, it's just like the components that go into building caps and super caps.
That's right.
So do you think that there's going to be, well, I guess it's hard to predict what players are going to do, but do you expect it to like create more production in super caps, just reducing the price, or just maybe a combination of both?
Yeah, I think really, I'd love all of the above, I think. But really, we're hoping for a price reduction mainly. I think that's where we're going to start with this. And as always, as I always say to people, like, we're not done. You know, this is an iterative process, and I like to come back and look at this. Like, what does this need to go up more? Does it need to go down more? I think this is a good start. So let's see where things land in a few weeks or a month or two, and we'll make some decisions for there. But definitely trying to bring the prices down a bit.
Nice, and hopefully that means we'll see some more of them. We saw a couple like hints of them going out there. I know they got a little bit tankier in Legion, both with like the surgical strike stuff and just like HP stuff. And so hopefully seeing more of them means more of them are at risk and
For sure.
crazy people just drop on them.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I love that type. I love explosions. Those are always my favorite, just to watch from a safe distance.
Yeah.
Moving on, there's also a change in there that's kind of related, but not necessarily exactly related. The SCC change for, what does this even mean?
SCC surcharge. So there is a tax on industry right now, which is when you are doing research for material and time efficiency. This is currently mainly working against lower to mid-tier industrialists who are trying to break into doing bigger scale industry.
Yeah.
It's too expensive, and we know that. And really, the first thing I'll say is like I have a desire to do a bigger tax reform in Eve, and we want to get to a place where we can kind of visit that more holistically. So in the interim, though, we recognize that there's kind of an issue. So we've made a bit of a temporary fix. So applied to your research, the SEC surcharge will be reduced by 50%
Okay.
for now. So that's only going to be applied to this. We're not going to do that to other places. And I just kind of want to get that out there because there's not really a clean like UX of this as well. Like you can't see it easily displayed in games. So we're going to rely on everybody to kind of share this information and spread the word about it. But yeah, that tax is going to come down by 50%.
All right.
Specifically.
And so that is like, I think Kestrel, you were saying like the biggest moment that people would probably see this is taking something from like ME9 to ME10. Is that like about how that works?
Yeah, especially if you're doing a ship like the Orca or a Nyx, or something that has like a really long time to go up and an expensive multiplier.
Okay.
So the actual taxes come down from 4% to 2%.
Yeah.
Nifty. Okay. Things are cheaper for research.
Yep.
Yeah, like you were saying, Okami, there's no like button that shows what the what the price is going to be for taking something from 0 to 10 or anything like that. A lot of people have to do some
I
crazy math.
You can see the SEC surcharge and where it comes from and what it is, but now we've like gone 50% on research.
Mhm.
So there's like that's not clear right now, but it's still a positive change and it's in there. So that's why spread the word.
Yeah, awesome. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll definitely help people that are trying to like break into like just industry and manufacturing in general. Because
Definitely.
a lot of the older players have their blueprints from way back in the day that are already like at 10. They're pumping out copies, keeping them safe, not like consuming them in any way.
That's right. And also like shout out to our CSM homies who have been kind of championing this on the industry side of things because they've been really kind of pushing for us to try to make industry a thing that newer players can get into more easily. So this is just a small thing, but I think it'll help.
Yeah, right on. I do like this kind of series of small little iterative tweaks just to see what happens. And, it's been a couple months now where you guys have just gone through and just said, oh, yeah, this isn't enough. We'll keep doing it. This might be too much. Let's see what happens.
Yep. Great example of that. I'm going to call out my last post in Discord was Pyrate. Like we put out a change. Is it doing what it's supposed to? So refine rates of Pyrate were improved, but Pyrate prices are still pretty high. So we might have to look at that again in a few weeks. So just that's an example of like, let's try something small. Let's see what happens. And then we'll respond to that. And we'll just kind of keep that momentum up.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, if you aren't on the Eve Discord, you should stop by. You can mute every channel, but there are some really cool posts that you make pretty regularly.
Yeah.
Just like updates about the design philosophy, what you guys are thinking about doing, issues that have kind of popped up that we're really aware of. And this is actually, if you were on the Eve Discord and you read your Okami update, you would have heard about some of these like issues for these capital bottleneck components, whatever we want to call them.
That's right. Yeah. We actually, I mentioned that like it was like last week or
I think it was
2
last
weeks
week,
ago or
yeah.
something like that. And here they are. So,
Nice.
Absolutely. And to mention, actually, I just put up another post a few days ago around ship balance. So in our major update coming up, we're going to take a big pass at ships, how they're balanced, take a look at the overall health and meta of the game, So I put a post out there. If you have feedback, if you have thoughts, I would love to hear from it. I love to hear your thoughts, actually, and your thoughts, and all your thoughts. Actually, you're going to do it, so good luck. But yeah, is there something that's like that a ship you used to love that was awesome and it hasn't been awesome for like 10 years, or a meta that resonated with you at some point in time that you'd love to see come back, or there's just this one darn ship and you have to use it because it's the best thing, but you really don't like it and you wish something else was there. Like all of that matters. So please go take a look. And I'd love to hear that feedback.
Just a bit of a tangent. One of my favorite things about working at CCP is I just get to have lunch with a bunch of CCPers and devs. And every time I get to chat with CCP Kestrel, he just has this giga brain of like things that are need addressing, small tweaks that could make like certain ships that are underserved and like kind of crummy back to prominence. And he just has this like, I don't know what it is, Kestrel, but you have this like giant brain with just machines in there. I don't know. But every ship and kind of the issues that players are facing. And I've also seen you super active in the Discord going through like these threads with Okami and a bunch of other designers. But yeah, it's just my nerd out of the day is geeking out about.
So to put you on the spot, if we could make one change for you, what would you like to see?
I've played Eve for so long, and I've gone through so many iterations of broken stuff. Some of my favorite broken stuff happens to be with the Serpentis ships, and their super giga ultra web that just slows everything down.
Yeah,
and I just want to fly a Vindicator again. The Vindicators are cool. They're very neat.
But I mean, so that, like, I love that. I love that's valid. I just want to fly a Vindicator again. Like, that is super valid feedback.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you why. Yeah. Other than it looks super cool. It's got blasters. It's my favorite part of whenever, like, we do Alliance Tournament flagships. And CCP Kestrel, you've been a commentator for a bunch of Alliance tournaments. Whenever we see a Vindicator flagship or just a Vindicator on field, it's so exciting. Mm-hmm. Also, a small plug for the Alliance Tournament 21 coming up soon.
Yeah, we just have to wait until we have like a Serpentis sponsored tournament, maybe next year, and just have reduced point Vindicators so everyone uses one.
Heck yeah, let's do it. Let's get CCP Zealous on the line and make sure that happens.
For sure.
Right on. So I think there might have been some other things with the patch. I know there's some improvements for the deliver items. Have you guys been seeing like players making really cool jobs or freelance jobs using deliver items, or heard anything about it?
Yeah, so I've only just taken a look at the data, and deliver items are like the most made freelance job now. So like undoubtedly everybody was waiting for this, wanted it, and they're using it. So that's fantastic.
Nice.
And yeah, there's definitely fixes coming this patch and ongoing for any of the little issues that linger.
Yeah, Eve players are great at breaking stuff. So every time they break stuff, just someone has to go in and fix it up a little bit, make sure it's working as it should. Right on, guys. Well, it was amazing chatting with you. We should do this way more often. I love just sitting here, like nerding out about Eve, talking about things that are upcoming. Any last words that you guys want to chime in?
Aye, and goodbye. No,
let's make that our official tagline. Aye, and goodbye. Let's go for it.
If anybody gets that reference, let me know. Let me know. That's from something very, very, very hyper specific. So
you should hop onto the Eve Discord and ping CCP Okami about it. CCP Kestrel, how about you?
Yeah, one thing that we forgot to mention was that I think in one of the Aegis sites where some of these capital components come from, we reduced the number of mines in the site, so it should be a bit easier to like navigate through the minefields now.
That is so nice. I have tried to run those sites, I think 3 or 4 times, and they're so intimidating because you have these like circles that you're like, oh, I'm gonna die. Nice. And I think also there was one component removed from the Pokvin sites that got redistributed kind of everywhere else, because Pokvin sites are still going to have the same value, right?
That's right. Yeah, actually, just to jump on that one real quick, it's more about like making sure the right things are coming from the right places. So our goal and our intention was for the capital ship manufacturing stuff to come from wormholes. And we discovered in our balancing process that there were a bunch of them coming from a specific site in Poshfen. So we decided to take those, put them in wormholes, and replace that with other red loot in Poshfen.
Okay, so the sites will still be like super valuable.
They'll still be valuable, yeah.
But there'll just be more of those bottleneck component-y thingies just available, right?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, and it should actually make that specific component increase in value a bit. Because right now that one's like, I think it's around like 20 to 30 million, whereas all of the other ones are worth like several, like 100 million. And it kind of, sucks if you get that one out of the 5 when you get your loot.
Yeah, we were talking about jackpot. That's the opposite jackpot. That's
that's right.
that's the RNG fairy being like, no, you did
Yeah,
bad.
exactly, yeah.
Right on. Well, I really like the just seeing more explorers out in space. It's so fascinating to just see people going out of their comfort zone a little bit, going like, oh, maybe I'll go to low sec for this one. Maybe I'll take a filament and go to null sec for this one. So giving these play styles a little bit more attention,
Yeah.
always appreciated.
And happy hunting for everyone else waiting for them.
Exactly. Happy hunting. Well, again, thank you guys so much, CCP Okami, CCP Kestrel, for sitting down with us and chatting. And you know what? We'll come back to this conversation at some point. And in the interim, we'll have you guys on Discord and players can just stop by and say hi.
Absolutely.
Right on. Well, I'm CCP Swift. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you next time.